After smashing in 3 goals in the Champions League to all but secure a knockout stage place, Arsenal got a much needed mood booster. So today we'll break down what exactly we learned from the game, as well as finding out which Arsenal player could be going to Man United. We'll get the breaking news on Benjamin Sesko, as well as finding out what's happening with Matheus Cunha. We'll also find out about another Arsenal return. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Baz14. Welcome back to your boys channel. After a 3-0 victory in the Champions League with your boy was at, a massive shout out to Cunha. The mood has slightly lifted. So as per, smash a like on the video if you do enjoy and subscribe to the channel if you are new. But starting off with Arsenal 3, Dynamo Zagreb 0. In a game that Arsenal made an electrifying start. 104 seconds is all it took, as Declan Rice scored his first ever Champions League goal, and the fastest that Arsenal scored since Yaya Sanogo back in 2014. For Rice himself playing once again as a number 8, a 7.8 rating with 1 goal scored, 91% passes completed and a key pass as well as 2 out of 2 ground balls. Not to mention a massive opportunity missed. He should have scored 2. But we are definitely seeing a new evolution of Declan Rice. Where often fans talk about number 6 or number 8, what we're seeing here is why Mikel Arteta spent £105 million. Rice is not a limited player, with strengths all across the pitch defensively and going forwards. We are seeing a modern day all-rounder. A throwback in sorts when you think about someone like Steven Gerrard, a player that can do nearly everything on the pitch at a very high level. With even Mikel Arteta saying there's a possibility that Rice could play at centre-back in the absence of William Saliba, having played at the end of last season in our must-win game against Everton, come through West Ham as a centre-back in the first place. The thing with Rice is wherever he plays, he is always going to thrive. And having seen his ball striking from corners being so consistent, a final ball that at times could be deadly, the next step is using that ball striking in open play. When you think about Man City and that Kevin De Bruyne cross, having seen Rice's ability to play a pass, I definitely think he's got in his locker. But in a game where Arsenal produced a 2.79 XG, holding Zagreb to 0.16, I wouldn't say it was fluid, but it was definitely dominant, with a key part of Arsenal's game plan being central overloads. The example being in the 7th minute, look at how 4 Arsenal players attacked the middle, attracting all the Zagreb players centrally, giving a lot more space for our wide forwards to thrive. After all the stats in the media recently, with Arsenal being one of the lowest teams in the Premier League when it comes to central progression, in this game the captain Martin Odegaard was thriving, with an 8.5 rating and 1 goal scored, an expected assist of over 1, 5 key passes, 6 accurate crosses and 1 big chance created, with the likes of Jorginho firing balls centrally, finding Odegaard in spaces where he can hurt teams. We saw the player excel in a better environment. Likewise the case for Gabriel Martinelli, dropping a 7.5 rating, with 1 fantastic assist to Kai Havertz, alongside 5 out of 10 dribbles, 3 key passes and 1 big chance created. This was a throwback Martinelli performance. The directness of 2022-23, taking on his fullback with no fear, alongside the ability to provide a final ball. It's what Arsenal fans have been crying out for a long time. Having seen a player burst through back in 2019, an exciting talent that was not scared of anything. Recently, one of the key issues for Martinelli has been overthinking, not trusting in his ability to take on his man. Because when you have that level of pace, with just a little bit of self-belief, you can see a completely different player. We also had a start for Alexander Zinchenko though, dropping a 7.3 rating in 74 minutes, winning 2 aerial duels, alongside 65 passes and 1 big chance created. What I loved in this game was the amount of times he was trying to cross the ball. Every time in the final third, not hesitating. But in terms of the player's future, things are definitely happening. As confirmed by Matt Law, Borussia Dortmund are ready to make a move for Alexander Zinchenko, with the left back expected to leave Arsenal before the transfer window shuts. A player in the final 18 months of his contract, with Arsenal not looking to give him a new one. When he came through, he was influential. But the recent emergence of Miles Lewis-Skelly, a new wave of inverted fullback, not only influential with the ball but also able to defend strongly, Arsenal can let Zinchenko leave. So after Dortmund missed out on Renato Vega to Juventus, all eyes turn to Zinchenko, with a reported price tag of £20 million. Most likely it will be a loan with the obligation to buy. Then you have Kieran Tierney, after making his first ever Champions League appearance for Arsenal. According to Matt McGrath, he is now on the verge of agreeing a pre-contract with Celtic, with Leverkusen, Sevilla, Everton and Juve all interested, as he's free in 2025-26, but the player is heading to Celtic. But for Arsenal themselves, a much needed victory and a much needed mood booster, as Kai Havertz scored the 500th goal with Mikel Arteta as manager. The German himself was influential with 1 goal and 1 assist, a 7.9 rating, with a total of 4 shots and 1 big chance missed. That is now 4 goal involvement in his last 3 Champions League appearances, as well as 5 goals and assists in his last 6 starts, which is very weird when you think about the narrative. Havertz is out of form, Havertz needs replacing. I think a lot of fans don't quite understand the profile of Havertz. This is a player that will always miss big chances, but his chances are created via movement, having now scored 14 goals in 30 games this season, equaling the entire tally of last year, in 21 games fewer. He now has 18 goals and assists this season, which is more than Sesko, Watkins, Solanke, Vlahovic and Jackson. I think a major reason why fans don't always rate him it's because Havertz is not an aesthetically pleasing player. Without the ability to beat a man and do crazy things, his strengths are more low-key, the biggest one being movement and ability to arrive into the box, generate his chances via movement. In the Premier League itself, he's 7th in terms of big chances missed, but on the same thing where you've got Ollie Watkins, Salah and Haaland, alongside Isak making the top 10 as well. In the current era of football, forwards are being judged differently. It's not just about their goal output, but it's about how many chances they generate. I don't think Havertz is Arsenal's long-term number 9 solution, but as a forward you cannot deny his numbers. Well on course for a 20-goal season, with a level of movement that even if we sign a striker, he will still play an integral part on our team. Now we need to focus though on our star boy. In a game that we saw Raheem Sterling start and drop a 6.7 rating, 58 minutes of trying but not being the best. With 32 minutes remaining, that's when Mikel Arteta turned to Ethan Nwaneri, a returning player fresh off an injury, producing one of the crosses of the game and creating a massive chance, as well as 2 out of 3 dribbles, 4 out of 7 ground balls. This was a very exciting cameo, showing Arsenal fans straight away a level of directness, individual quality to provide moments, with a lack of fear to take his man on. The cross itself was trademarked Bukayo Saka, who himself is out all the way until March. That's why we're looking at Ethan Nwaneri, who is our closest profile to Saka, playing as a right winger with the ability to cut inside, with a eagerness to get goals and get an assist. Also a shout out to Nathan Butler-Oyedeji, after 14 years in the Arsenal Academy, making his Arsenal debut in the Champions League. For Arsenal themselves at the Emirates Stadium, they are now 15 home matches unbeaten in the Champions League, leaving them all but confirmed in the Champions League knockouts, climbing all the way back to 3rd over Inter, with 5 wins from 7, needing only a point on our next game against Girona to confirm a place in the Champions League top 8. Not only is it major because Arsenal won't have to play a playoff, but in that same period of time according to reports, Arsenal have planned a trip to Dubai, which if fans remember last year, was just before Arsenal went on a crazy run to end the year on 89 points. But the question now is, what is our ambition? Having only conceded 2 goals in the Champions League this season, 0 being from open play, according to some pundits, Arsenal are designed for the Champions League. Defensively, we certainly are, having also faced the lowest XG from open play in the entire Champions League campaign so far. We've played some hard games at Atalanta away, PSG as well, the San Siro and Sporting Lisbon, and come through with a total of 5 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. With Arsenal's style of playing being all about the fine margins, something that we've seen work in the past with Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid, Arsenal will have a chance to go far, but the issue is, I still think we need game changers. Game breakers in the final for lack of Vinicius Jr., where it's less about tactics and systems, and more about providing a moment of brilliance. But with the round of 16 players all but confirmed, according to the current model of predictions, we will face a team towards the bottom of the table, and the current standings that could actually be Real Madrid, who are currently 16th in the table and most likely will play a playoff round. But moving on to the latest Arsenal transfer news, starting off with the future of an Arsenal youngster chased by Manchester United. We're talking about Aiden Heaven, a centre-back given minutes in pre-season and somewhat impressive, but out of contract at the end of this season, and according to The Athletic, he had been in Germany, exploring a move to Eintracht Frankfurt. With a scholarship set to expire at the end of this season, Arsenal have offered him pro terms, but the player is still assessing options, and a move to Germany would have made sense, having seen so many youth players go there in the past, the likes of Sancho and Bellingham examples. But according to now a Fabrizio Romano exclusive, Man United have also made contact to Arsenal for the 18-year-old talent Aiden Heaven, with United now leading the race to sign the player, while Frankfurt and Barca have also made approaches. Arsenal have also offered a new deal. The issue for Haven is not talent, but it's more the players ahead of him. Gabriel Magalhaes in the peak of his powers, William Saliba still fairly young. The likes of Timber and Calafiori are also able to play centre-backs. His pathway into the Arsenal first team isn't quite there, with the idea of offering a new contract to keep him at the club and then cash in, with youth players giving Arsenal a clear profit in FFP. But in terms of United, as we saw with Chido Obi Martin, they are not scared to offer youngsters insane amounts of money, which of course could be game-changing. But in terms of Arsenal themselves, more focused on the incomings. You actually had Arsenal owner Josh Kroenke in attendance, as Arsenal beat Dynamo 3-0, with Arsenal fans sending a clear message before the game, with a mural outside the stadium, with a caption of "Time to splash some cash, Josh." And let's just say Arsenal definitely do have that cash, with a recent report in terms of money generated in 2025, ranking Arsenal at 7th, with a total revenue of €760 million, having generated over 35% more than the year before. It's not a question if money is available, it's more a question of if Arsenal will spend it. With even Mikel Arteta saying, we haven't invested in foreign areas like other teams have. Arsenal definitely are on the market to address that, with Sammy Rockwell confirming, Arsenal are working actively in the market, with a view of signing a new forward this month. So what's happening with Wolves' Matheus Cunha? With talks over a new Wolves contract stalling, according to Sky Cave, it's thought that an offer of around £60 million could be enough to tempt Wolves to sell Matheus Cunha. Arsenal are definitely a team after him, with some reports even claiming that we have agreed personal terms, but there's also a lot of competition. As confirmed by Sky Sports News, you've actually got Nottingham Forest who are now ready to make a club record offer for Matheus Cunha, with other reports even claiming the Wolves have agreed to put a release clause in Cunha's contract. As discussions continue between the club and the player, that was meant to be the main issue in him not signing a Wolves contract. But if Wolves have agreed, will the player's mind change? Or is he set on making a move elsewhere, with other reports claiming that he's most likely to leave this window? His stats definitely are impressive. Playing in a free role as a Wolves attacker, his stats radar is very complete. But for Arsenal fans looking for a solution in terms of a number 9, while Cunha is able to do that, a player that excels in tight spaces, with a lot of self-belief to beat his man and cause chaos, I see him as less of a number 9 and more of a wide forward. Because in terms of 9, Arsenal have a different target. RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko. And according to John Cross, Arsenal wanted to spend big on a striker now, after a Benjamin Sesko green line. A striker himself who dropped a man of the match performance in the Champions League, after scoring his 14th goal of the season, and 4th in the Champions League. The goal itself may have been a tap-in, but it also shows a player attacking space, a striker in the box attacking the goal. In a game that we also saw go for Victor Gyökeres, Sesko, like most strikers, does miss chances. At 21 years of age, far from the complete profile, but what Arsenal are doing here is learning from previous mistakes. Having liked Alexander Isak from his time at Real Sociedad, where his numbers weren't amazing, but the potential was certainly there. We missed out on Isak then, but we can't miss out on Sesko now. A profile that's 6'5" with a bagload of pace, insane level of ball striking, with the ability to explode at Arsenal. According to Ben Jacobs, Arsenal have made a recent contact with Leipzig over Benjamin Sesko, who remains a strong target for 2025. Arsenal are reigniting their 2024 interest, but with the mid-season move so complicated, even if Leipzig are knocked out of the Champions League. With even Sky Sports' Darman Chef claiming that Arsenal are discussing internally whether a move for Sesko is possible this window, Leipzig do not want to sell as they're a point off top 4. The question is, will Arsenal try this window? Well, according to the reliable Sam C, Arsenal and Sesko is on since last week. Let's see if a deal can be done, because Arteta has already spoken to Sesko. But Leipzig themselves making their own forward moves, as Fabrizio Romano confirms they are closing in on a deal with French top talent TDM Gomis, who's not quite a striker, so I don't think he's a Sesko replacement. But in terms of the RB Leipzig manager Marco Rose, when asked if Sesko stays, he says yes, that is still the case for us. With even the Leipzig manager director saying, so far there is no contact within any clubs, he will continue to wear the RB Leipzig jersey. According to the reliable Gunner blog, Arsenal have received little encouragement that bidding for Sesko this month would prove successful. But that's what we have to realise what Leipzig are, known for being a selling club, recruiting young talents at a young age, then selling them on for massive profit. For myself, I see it very simply. If Arsenal believe Sesko is their guy, Mikel Arteta is convinced he's a striker he wants, they have to get it done as soon as possible. In the summer, you will have more teams interested, the likes of Chelsea looking at the deal as well. But also for Arsenal, we can't let a season go to waste. When you've got no Gabriel Jesus and no Bukayo Saka, signing a forward has to be compulsory. According to John Cross though, Arsenal also looking to strengthen in the wide positions, but that will have to wait until the summer. The first choice target is Nico Williams, but he's not available in January, and he also wants over £300,000 a week. The wide forward area is definitely more intriguing though. With a host of top options across Europe, Nico Williams might be the favourite, but we've also got PSG's Bradley Barcola, who after thriving against Man City who bottled a 2-goal lead, to lose to PSG 4-2, Barcola will stand out, with now 3 goals and 3 assists in just a week. But for a club that's just signed Kvaratskhelia, another left winger to play over Barcola, with Ousmane Dembele on the other side as well. This is a player that for me Arsenal have to be looking at. An exciting profile at only 21 years of age, but with all the fundamentals to be an elite winger, a burst of pace and fantastic finishing capacity, it might be time to run it back to our French heritage. But for Mikel Arteta, the focus now turns to Saturday, saying now let's go to Wolves, as Arsenal go to Molineux facing a team fighting relegation, currently 17th in the Premier League. Not only could be an audition for Matheus Cunha, but in terms of the Arsenal team is a return of Calafuri and Wanyeri, with Ethan coming off the bench against Dynamo, showing his ability straight away. I would not be surprised if he starts. But in terms of Miles Lewis-Skelly, not available in the game against Dynamo, according to Mikel Arteta, he couldn't finish his session yesterday, having picked up a problem against Villa, so we left him out tonight. It doesn't sound major, but if he's not available, with the return of Calafuri, Arsenal will have options there. But you also have a question about centre-back. Having seen Jakub Kiwior play a right centre-back against Dynamo, against a Wolves team that will have more physical players, will Mikel Arteta play Timber there instead? Because the last thing we need is Thomas Partey at right back. Thankfully, it won't be an issue for long though, as according to Sami Mokbel, Benjamin White has returned to training on grass and is closing into a full return. After a long-term injury, he won't be ready straight away, but as we approach the most important part of the season, with the ability of White at right back and centre back, as a fullback he offers Arsenal an overlap that we don't really have, with Saliba and Tomiyasu not far away either, without their most elite attacker in Bukayo Saka. Having our best defenders available will be even more pivotal. But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was all of your latest Arsenal news today ahead of another must-win game against Wolves. For Arsenal though, of course, a lot of pressure on the transfer window and a need for something to happen. Hopefully it happens very soon. We're going to break it down on this channel. So as per friends, stay tuned. I'll see you next time. Take care.